Hello there. It's a warm day and thank God, no hot flashes. Which brings me to today's topic, managing menopause symptoms while pursuing your career goals. I'm a midlife woman. I've been through the fires of hell with menopause. It was a difficult time, and I know it's a difficult time for a lot of women, especially when they still have desires to grow in their career. So sometimes the symptoms of menopause can impact your performance and your overall well-being. Hot flashes, mood swings, insomnia, all of those things are no joke. And as estrogen levels drop for women, sometimes those symptoms can become quite severe and become overwhelming and can actually inhibit women in their careers. I've been there. I know it very well. And so it is a topic that's dear to my heart and a space where I want to encourage women that despite the challenges of menopause symptoms, it is not the end for us when it comes to our careers or doing work that we love. So, how do we manage those menopausal symptoms and pursue career goals? So, the first thing I would say to do, and it certainly was something that I learned over time, can't say I knew it right at the beginning. I was too busy feeling overwhelmed. But the first thing to do is to prioritize self-care. It is a time when the body and the mind goes through incredible changes. So brain fog is not uncommon for women during menopause. It hit me pretty hard and it dented my confidence because I was always a fairly switched on woman, very hardworking woman. Whatever goals I went for, if I remained focused, I usually achieved those goals. Along comes menopause and I'm focused. I'm still doing what I've always done, but the brain is foggy. Things aren't working out quite as well as I had wanted them to. And along the journey, I learned that self-care was very important. And what does that look like? It can be anything like learning what to say no to. That took me a while to master. But sometimes I had to say no to functions, events, activities, because I was so exhausted. My brain was so foggy that what I really needed was rest and sleep and naps. So sometimes self-care can look like saying no to certain things. Self-care can look like prioritizing your health and well-being, taking time out to rest, taking time out to go for a peaceful, serene walk, taking time out to sink into a bath, probably a cool one, because we don't want, hot flashes as bright and as fiery as this red I'm wearing. Sometimes self-care can look like diving under the doona. And I used to say that I did a lot of doona diving during menopause, during the worst years of menopause for me. Can look like diving under the doona and simply being with your own thoughts. Second tip, seek medical advice. If you're experiencing symptoms that are consistent, so sometimes we might have, a bad mood, or we go through a difficult time, you don't feel so great, or you might not even feel that well, or you're stressed out and you're not sleeping well, and they reasonably one-off symptoms or only occurring occasionally. You can probably put that down to a bit of stress. With menopause, the symptoms become fairly consistent. When they're consistent, seek medical advice. Advocate for your own health. Because I found when I first started to go for help or ask doctors or research and go to GPs, I found that I was fairly dismissed. Many of them spoke to me about the physical symptoms, but there's also emotional and mental symptoms that come with menopause, and many didn't make the time to educate me around that. So I felt incredibly lonely and isolated. So seek medical advice. But I will caveat that by saying do your research and find the right GP for you. It took me a few goes at finding the right GP for me, the doctor that would help me through not only the physical symptoms, but the emotional and the mental symptoms of menopause. So very important to advocate for your health. Practice mindfulness and stress reduction. There's so many videos all over the internet on mindfulness, on meditation, on ways to reduce stress. And I encourage you to take some time out to do that for yourself. Now, it's not so easy in the beginning when you're stressed out, when you've got brain fog, when you're not sleeping well. You'll find that your mind will chit-chatter for quite some time before it starts to settle. But like anything in life, repetition is the mother of skill. Old saying, but a true saying. And so if you try mindfulness or meditation or any of those practices and you find, you're struggling with it in the beginning, let me encourage you to keep going. Simply keep going. Even if you start out with 3 minutes a day and then build up to 5 minutes a day and 7 minutes a day and 10 minutes a day. It does help. It certainly helped me. I highly recommend it. Deep breathing exercises, mindful exercises, meditation, all very good in helping to reduce stress. But you mustn't give up after the first try. The first try, the first 2 tries, the first 3 or 4 tries, you're probably not going to feel too comfortable and you may even feel like it's not working. But everything that is repeated, it's kind of like a way of training the brain. And that's what I found, that eventually my mind, because I would just sit down and do it, even though there was a resistance within me to do it, I would continue and simply practice 3 minutes, then 5 minutes, eventually 7 minutes, eventually 10 minutes. Today, I can't begin my day without meditation or mindful practice, and I don't end my day without meditation and mindful practice. So I do encourage you to keep going. And then adjust your work environment. So one of the fastest ways you can help yourself is to have a desk fan. We are going to go through hot flashes and the discomfort of that. Maybe have a small desk fan working or blowing while you're working so that you're cooling yourself down. They're simple little strategies. Dress in layers. I got really good at dressing in layers so that when the hot flash hit, I was able to just take the first layer off and just cool down. They're simple, practical steps, but it's about keeping your environment cool, keeping yourself cool, making sure your working environment is cool so that you're comfortable as much as you can be. And sometimes, a hot flash is a hot flash, and you may have to dash to the restroom, put some water on your face, all of those types of things. But I think it's really important to manage your well-being. That's a priority when it comes to pursuing your career goals. There are other practical steps around pursuing career goals, but I think the first steps to manage is your level of comfort. So in summary, prioritize self-care. Get good at knowing what to say no to. Get good at saying yes to yourself on the activities that are going to reduce your stress. Seek medical advice. Find a great GP. Find the support that you need from the right GP. And that might mean, you going on a research. You might have to say no to try out a few GPs and then find the one that works for you. Practice mindfulness, meditation, any kind of activity that helps reduce your stress. And then adjust the work environment. Make sure that you have the tools or the apparatus in the work environment that can support you in staying cool and keep being comfortable. I will do another video on specific career strategies, but for me, managing symptoms while pursuing career goals comes down to managing your level of comfort first. Don't let your health stand in the way of your ambitions. If you're looking for some guidance, some help, or even just a short chat on how we can navigate the beast that is menopause, feel free to reach out.